Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on AUD CAD? Now, from a monthly perspective, we have a market that clearly has created this W formation. Specifically, if you have a market that creates an impulse correction, lower low and higher high, you definitely want to see the market make a move back down because this leg is now overextended and the move back down has a target at the previous resistance, now turns support, aka the neckline of the formation as we just said. So we have an overall downside target in mind for AUD CAD at this level, which, as I wanted to show you, is also a previously respected very nicely a structure area. Acted as very strong support here, against support here, turn resistance here, and now that the market has broken it to the upside, is a strong support area for the market at this level. However, what is also quite important to say is that still, if we look at what we have at the moment from a weekly perspective, the structure is absolutely bullish, so we still cannot be looking for any shorts. So let's see what we have here on the weekly. On the weekly, we have a market that has created a lot of impulses with very, very slight corrections showing a very, very strong trend to the upside. However, what we also notice is that our target to the downside is respected extremely well on the weekly. This is the neckline on the monthly, which on the weekly, as you can see, is even more clear. Extremely strong, a clear resistance here, again resistance here, again resistance here, which is now support at this level, and we definitely expect the market to go and test the zone to fetch some liquidity. If we go down on the daily time frame, what we can see now from a daily perspective, we can see the market has just broken above a quite important structure level. So let's just put a horizontal ray on our downside target and identify this structure support. In fact, this was very strong resistance here on the daily. Again, resistance, again, resistance, again, resistance. Broke to the upside, obviously turned support. And since the market is still above it, it is still acting as support as we are speaking. So even if we have an overall downside target in mind from the monthly and weekly, we cannot be looking for the short until we will see a daily break of this zone to the downside. Now, how we will be approaching this pair with students? Now, first of all, let's go and see what we have from a COT perspective. So commitment of traders, what the biggest banks and institutions are currently doing on the AUD and on the CAD to gain insight on how they are positioned. Now on the AUD, we can see that we had a clear shift from a negative positioning to almost a positive positioning. So we went from having way more shorts than longs from a hedge fund perspective on the AUD with a 103K shorts and 49K longs to a situation where we have more or less the same amount of longs and shorts with 44K longs and 45K shorts. And we see that reflected in all AUD pairs that have been moving to the upside quite aggressively because we have seen longing from an institutional point of view. And if we go and see what we have from a CAD perspective, we went from 38K net positions all the way down to minus 16K net position, passing from 35, meaning that we went from having way more longs than shorts with 74K longs and 36K shorts, all the way down to having a negative positioning with 58K shorts and 23K longs. And then things have been adding the long exposure that went all the way up to 26%, bringing net positions at minus 16K. So the CAD has in the short term been getting stronger, which is good for our overall move to the downside for an AUD CAD perspective. However, as we have seen, AUD is pretty strong, so we still cannot be looking for any shorts. But we first need to see a clear break of the structure. What does it mean? If we will see a daily break back below this structure, this extremely strong resistance will be turned, that is now turned support, will be turned again resistance here because the market will have broken the level to the downside. What we will also have is a market that clearly will have created this M formation. And after an M formation, what do you expect? After an M formation, you expect the market to make a move to the upside and complete the pattern at the neckline, specifically the previous support and resistance that we have here, exactly as we have previously said. So after the break on the retracement back to the area, here is where we will have the best probabilities and best risk to reward. And with students, what we will be doing, we will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame, because always remember monthly, weekly, and daily are for direction. The best time frame for entry is the 4 hours. So we will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the downside and completion of the monthly pattern. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you. And I will see you in the next video.